I've been part of Seattle for a long time. I'm Socrata's developer evangelist. I'm also the guy that bought the pizza, so you have to clap for me on that. Well, I think it's a really good way to make friends. So I'm here tonight to talk about a little side project that I work on when I'm not doing dev evangelism at Socrata called the Open Data Network. If you're not familiar with what Socrata does, we run open data portals for about, I think maybe 300 or so governments now across the country, around the world. We built basically white labeled data sites and applications for them so they could do things like demonstrate their, what kind of crimes are going on in their communities, talk about their budgets, put up open data. We run data.seattle.gov, for example. But one of the side effects of the way that we run our business is that there's no one place where you can go to see all the data that we share across all of our different data portals until the Open Data Network. So the Open Data Network is basically a one-stop shop where you can come and search all of the data sets that are on Socrata across all of our customers. And then also in specific categories, you can make direct comparisons between different governments as well. So you could, for example, search for crime data using it as a search engine. This loads. But really, or you can get an arrow 504. That's not fun either. This is probably live demos. That would be a bunch of crime data. Or the more interesting thing you can do is you can actually compare different communities based on the demographics and the metrics going on in those communities. So if I wanted to compare, for example, Seattle. Somebody say Boston? Okay, so let's compare Seattle to Boston. So here, basically for within the US, basically any geographic region you can associate what's called FIPS code with. FIPS code is basically a federal identifier to identify things like cities, counties, states, zip codes, metropolitan statistical areas. Basically, for any one of those, we've taken all the metrics that we can find easily sourceable for those areas and put them into the Open Data Network. So for Seattle, for example, we have demographic data from census. We have data about education and graduation rates. We have crime data from the FBI UCR, so you can look at crime trends over time. You can also then build comparisons between different communities. So if we wanted to do Boston, we can compare the crime trends over time between Seattle and Boston on different types of crime. So for this one, for example, we're about equal on aggravated assault. And if we wanted to, for example, look at motor vehicle theft, we can choose the way we want to exploit each data sets. All the data in here is sourced either from federal sources or from our customers as well. One of the neat things about the Open Data Network is that it's entirely open source too. So if you have data sets that you'd like to see and compare across different regions like this, if we can get them into a format where they can be mapped to, or they already include a FIPS code, we can look at including those in the Open Data Network. One of the ones that I just added recently that I'm really proud of, if we look at King County, for example, is we pulled in a ton of data from Commerce about health insurance rates. So you can actually, for communities across the country, let's compare this to Montgomery. So it's all right. I particularly like this one because it makes a really cool map. So you can compare, once this map loads, it's got a ton of counties to load. You can compare the health insurance coverage rates since 2008 across different communities in the US, including the trends. And it does this really cool 538 style every county in the country map where you can see what parts of the country have the lowest insurance rates. So for example, don't get sick in Montana, Texas, basically all the places you would not want to get sick in. So yeah, it's an interesting project. All of the widgets on this page are also backed by APIs that you guys can use as well. So for example, there's a whole API backend that allows you to do things like look up what metrics we have for different regions in the country. So you can even say, well, I've got Montgomery County, Maryland, and I've got Cook County, Illinois. What things can I compare across those two? So you can all get that out of the API as well. we'll take your question later, because we're going to do questions afterwards. But or can I take one question? I'll take one question.
Do you have corruption data too?
No, we don't need corruption data yet, but if you know where we can get it, I'd love to get stuff like that in here. So one of the things that you can do, it's actually all on GitHub, and I can share a link to that as well. So if you have data sets that you think will be interesting, I've just been creating issues against my own project with links to data sets that we can incorporate. So we'll kind of tick it through those as we go. Cool, thank you.